we're just down to death and taxes again, because if Simon Whitlock takes something from this game, a draw or a victory, Phil Taylor will be propping up the pile in the Premier League, because at the moment only he and Whitlock are pointless. And they meet next week in Glasgow. RBB is looking at the top of the tree, looking to move back into those playoff spots. Dave Clark said, brilliant performance week one against Gary Anderson. Not so last week against Wes Newton. If Barney returns to his best, he'll be up there, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Lewis and Wright.
134.
And Van Gerwen at the top. Big game this one, Dyche.
Very much so, as the crowd are up to try and beat the Liverpool peak on the noisometer. Whitlock now, a big game for him.
140.
Yet to get a point on the board in the Premier League. Not feeling 100% either. He's got a problem with his hearing in his right ear. I wonder if that'll affect his balance. But look at this from Van Barneveld. Beautifully done. First 180 of the game, his 8th in the 3 weeks of the Premier League, all told. And the crowd are absolutely loving this. We know how popular Van Barneveld is here in Belfast, Scotland, Dublin. And his walk-on
58
was enough to send a shiver down your spine. And when he's on form, everybody loves watching Van Barneveld. 108.52 in that opening week against Anderson, a 7-2 win
60
in Liverpool, but then lost to Wes Newton last week. Whitlock then looking for his first Premier League points on the board.
Well, however bad his hearing is, Nige, he must be able to hear that.
Raymond, you require 127.
Now this would be a party piece, but doesn't have to go for it with Whitlock. Not on the finish. Went for the treble 19.
99.
Fantastic last start from Van Barneveld. Whitlock, who lost 6-3 to Stuart Kellett in the Dutch Masters second round at the weekend, going through a bit of a confidence crisis right now. The Wizard of Oz
required 28.
needs a result here tonight, this final game of what has been a spectacular night. 7-7 for Van Barneveld.
Deary me.
24.
Well, Whitlock,
Simon, you
who was lagging behind
64.
in this leg, has suddenly been afforded an opportunity for a piece of darting piracy. Another one there. Well, OK, double top. I think that was an accidental single 8. I'm sure he was going 16-16 double.
Raymond, you require 4.
Van Barneveld's back. Thought he might not have been. Making hard work of this. Can he use that as a marker? Yes, he can. Look what it means to him as well. Punches the air with delight. First leg on the board for Raymond Van Barneveld. Real test for Whitlock. He's seen Taylor lose a third successive match.
100.
And Belfast have reached the peak when it comes to the noise in the Premier League. 138 they've reached, and here they go again.
100.
142, 150. The Odyssey Arena in Belfast, the noisiest of the Premier League venues so far. And we move to Glasgow next week.
137.
Well, carries on like that, he'll have the same hearing problem as poor old Whitlock.
59.
This is more like it from Whitlock. First one of the game. Looking good to level it up here. You can do an 11 dart leg. Simon Whitlock would make him feel a lot better about things, I'm sure. Now, can he take this out?
84.
19 for tops. Interesting route. Whitlock's
64.
very own. Not many professional dart players would look to go 50 double 17, but with Barney not on a finish, it may not matter.
Van
Barneveld making hard work
20.
of this leg. Whitlock double 10, double 5 now to level it. Surely this time, Simon. That's a marker, all right. What a pace.
In his second leg, Simon
Punches
Whitlock.
the air. Relief written all over the face of Simon Whitlock.
Game on.
Raymond van Barneveld, 1 win and 1 defeat in his 2 games so far. Second win here. Put him in a great position after 3 weeks of the competition. But wasn't the ideal start with that visit. He's going to have to step it up.
Well, that leg that Whitlock won there, only the 4th he's won
97
in this year's Premier League. Before tonight, he'd only actually had 11 darts and a double. That's how comprehensively he'd been tonked in his first 2 games against Adrian Lewis and Gary Anderson.
100.
7-2 against Anderson, 7-1 against Lewis. Bouncing here in Belfast tonight. They have seen some top-notch darts, as you would expect in the Premier League. It's the norm these days, and they say this year is the most wide-open and unpredictable Premier League. But normal service as far as MVG is concerned. 3 matches, 3 wins, clear leader. And now Whitlock, with a bigger agenda of fighting for survival, has said he doesn't want to be involved in a relegation scrap. Defeat here tonight.
57.
He's very much in it, along with Phil Taylor. Never thought I'd hear myself say that.
No. Well, that's better from Barneveld, who's been short of scoring in the first 3 legs, but now has left himself a 3-dart combo. Drive a bus between there. One couldn't park it, so Van Barneveld looking at 103.
103.
Go back in front. Nice one. Missed the big 13. That is not a nice one. Blobbed.
71.
Yeah, bad miss from Van Barneveld there. You can see that. His body language tells it all. But the fact of the matter is, Whitlock isn't playing well enough to punish it, and Van Barneveld is going to be back for double 16 here. For a 2-1 lead to hold his throw as well. There's the target, there's the finish. Beautiful, middle of the bed. Fine finishing from Raymond van Barneveld, who holds a 2-1 lead here over Simon Whitlock. Snatchy first start. Can he find the red bit? No.
55.
Here's a chance now for Van Barneveld. Big score here. Got the treble 19 with the last start. Now Whitlock has got to get himself into gear here. Finds a treble 20. Another one of those that do nicely.
95.
It's a chance for Van Barneveld. Can he break the throw? Falling below the red bit.
83.
Only 83. So he's not really taking the advantage of slack darts from Whitlock. That treble 5 is an Achilles heel for Simon Whitlock.
95.
Well, we mentioned the ear ache that he's got, which, you know, as any will tell you, once you've got problems with your ear, it will affect your balance as well as your hearing, which is far from ideal as a professional darts player.
140.
Soldiering on, Simon Whitlock. And I guess, feeling like that, he probably believes that anything tonight would be a bonus. Even a point would be a decent outcome.
So Van Barneveld now looking to set himself up for the best possible finish and a break of throw.
140.
Nice darts. Whitlock not on a finish. Van Barneveld with a great chance here of a break and a 3-1 lead.
97. Raymond require 42.
Well, with a big win tonight, Barney can soar to 4th on the league ladder. He wants double 16 here. He wants double 8. But he's wired both of them,
34.
and Whitlock will come back for a ton.
Simon, you require
So
100.
close, you said it, Rod. Wired them. Brushed the wire, almost. And now there's pressure on Whitlock. Well, that sums up the way things have been going for Simon Whitlock. And Barneveld can't believe his luck. Here goes RVB for double four for a 3-1 advantage and a break of throw here. There's the target, there's the finish. Barneveld leads 3-1.
Well, he has been one of the most consistent performers over the Premier League years, Raymond van Barneveld, since entering the comp in 2006. 6 times a semi-finalist, but never a finalist, Barney. Is this the year he makes the big breakthrough?
140.
Well, you look at the list of finalists: Colin Lloyd, Roland Sholton, Terry Jenkins, Mervyn King. It's a surprise that Van Barneveld has never actually reached a final. Simon Whitlock, of course, 2012. It is something of a surprise that this man has never reached a final of the Premier League. Nice, tidy darts. Looking good here. And you have to worry for Whitlock from this point on, struggling to find any kind of range with the treble.
60.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be cut adrift in one of those 2 elimination spots.
93.
It's harder and harder as the weeks go by. 3 straight wins really does heap the pressure on. 3 straight darts in the treble. Eases it.
Nice little way to bounce back from Mr. Whitlock. Well, if Whitlock does lose this, 3 on the spin, the same as Taylor, and I said before in the Phil Taylor game, if you're going to need 8 points to survive after 9 matches, which you've played each of your opponents once, and basically
99.
with 6 matches remaining, you're going to have to win 4 of them. It's going to take a dramatic transformation when it comes to a bit of pressure. Big shot, gets it. That's great finishing.
Simon Whitlock.
And Whitlock's annoyed and determined at the same time.
Game on.
He knows how important that leg was to win, to hold his throw. 4-2 Barneveld.
60.
Well, he does look a bit pale, a bit peaky, Simon Whitlock.
59.
Barney's got himself dragged down into a little bit of a dogfight here. He's nowhere near the form he was in that first week when he piled in that big average of 108 plus. It's the 2nd highest of this year's tournament. Michael van Gerwen has the best 109.5 in that 7-0 rout of Phil Taylor.
We saw 105 from Robert Thornton in the first game of the night tonight as well. What a performance that was against Gary Anderson. Barneveld just lacking the consistency, as you mentioned, Rob, that we know that he's capable of. Now, can he fill it up, Whitlock, and put pressure on Van Barneveld? Snatchy last dart. Still scrapping away here, Whitlock.
There's only 1 break of throw behind here, even though he's 2 legs down, it's only 1 break. Oh, clean as a whistle. Leaves 71, which he will be back for. Yeah, that'll rattle Whitlock all right. I just feel like Barney's just yanked his beard.
134. Range requires 71.
So, to hold his throw, 18 for tops. Oh, can you believe it? He
31.
missed the 18. And that has opened the door for Simon Whitlock here for a break of throw. And Van Barneveld will be furious.
Doubly so if he hits the double here, Whitlock, and he has. He's back to 4-3. Well, if he can hold here, it's levels you devils at 4 apiece.
A flag Simon to throw first. Game on.
Barney bodged on 71. He led 4-1. Now he's in danger of seeing the whole lead obliterated.
What a start from Whitlock as well.
99.
Yeah, but Barneveld will know he shouldn't be in this position. He's allowed Whitlock back into it. Whitlock has upped his average to 91.5.
58.
Well, not dissimilar to last week, where Barney was 5-2 up on Wes Newton and got beaten. Could he do the same again? Get a big lead and then blow it.
And if that happens, he'd be stranded on 2 points from 3 games. Whitlock would be on 2 points from 3 games. Thornton on 2 from 3. Anderson on 2 from 3. And Phil Taylor would be the only player pointless in the Premier League after 3 weeks. This is nice. Oh, Whitlock's got his act together now.
162.
Super stuff. Well, he's going to have half a dozen darts at 140, Simon Whitlock, to level 61. The match from 3 legs behind. He won't be thinking about drawing the match now. He'll be thinking about going on and winning it from here against a wavering and wobbling Van Barneveld. Big single.
100.
He'll be back for tops, Whitlock. And Van Barneveld now will be clearly annoyed that he's allowed this situation to develop. Raise of the eyebrows.
98.
Because he knows there's every chance now that Simon Whitlock is going to come back and level the match at 4 legs apiece. Tops he needs.
And
tops he gets.
Simon Whitlock.
4 apiece. Van Barneveld annoyed.
Game on.
And Whitlock will believe now, Rod.
Well, I believe he can go on and win. There's no question about that.
81.
Barneveld's let him off the hook and thrown him back in the lake. You just cannot give players of this quality. Remember, Whitlock, the world ranked number 3. You can't just say, look mate, I'm just going to give you chance after chance and I'm going to drop off my own game, because you'll find yourself in the pickle that RBB is in.
Just lost his range completely.
85.
Hit a couple of 180s early on, and he was hitting 140s for fun, Van Barneveld, but right now this match has turned around and Simon Whitlock is playing quite beautifully. Now, Van Barneveld bouncing back. So can Simon Whitlock take a confidence-boosting victory into his match with Phil Taylor in Glasgow next week? Massive night in Glasgow. Make sure you join us for that next Thursday, week 4 of what is already a fascinating Premier League campaign.
97. So you require 161.
Well, this for a 4th consecutive leg. Treble 18. Now, I don't know why Simon Whitlock has got confused there, because his MO on 161 is always T19, T18 ball.
79.
Well, he talked himself into a mistake.
Range require 98.
Yeah, looks visibly confused. Treble 18 would leave double 12 here. He's got the treble. Double 12 for Van Barneveld to retake the lead, and he needed that. He needed that. Van Barneveld leads 5 legs to 4.
Game on.
Fine margins. That treble 18 was very close to being in treble 4 for Van Barneveld. It wasn't. Double 12 puts him back in front, and now 1 leg away from guaranteeing at least a point.
100.
MVG next week. RBB, the MVG.
60.
moved to the Hydro now in Glasgow, otherwise it could have been at the SCCC, couldn't it?
New venue. Yep, new venue. Looking forward to that in Glasgow next week. Snatchy first start from Whitlock.
25.
Chance for Barneveld now if he can hit a big number. Good start. Another one of those that do him quite nicely. Room for a third. He switched across.
145.
And that is superb from Raymond van Barneveld. So a chance of a break of throw for Van Barneveld, and if he wins this leg he will ensure that he's not going to lose the match. Another one of those would do nicely. Stays up the board, Whitlock not on a finish, so looking good for Van Barneveld, who you could say has weathered a bit of a Whitlock storm here.
Well, he should get 2 darts at double, all things being equal, Van Barneveld, but he's under pressure and he has missed the odd big number in this match also.
60.
Both players on 60. Barneveld with first crack. Okay, double top. Oh, it's just about deflected down in. And Barneveld will pick up at least a point.
11 playing Raymond.
Good finish from Van Barneveld.
Game on.
6 legs to 4. It means that he will have only 1 defeat in the first 3 weeks of the Premier League, and he has the throw here for the match. A nice steady ton to start with. Whitlock's battled away, clawed his way back into this match from 4-1 down to level at 4 apiece. Van Barneveld has weathered that storm, only 60, and another big number here for Van Barneveld, and he'll be well on his way, you feel.
Well, as you said, Nige, Whitlock came back from 4-1 down to level at 4-4, then he got in a mix-up with the 1-6-4 finish and couldn't work out what he was meant to be on. And from then on, it's rather unravelled for the big Aussie.
134.
Nicely done. Just keeping Van Barneveld on his toes. Can't find a treble.
47.
Slack. Just when he's looking to kill the game off. Will this be the final leg of the game, or is there life yet in Whitlock's charge?
The lot to leave tops. Tops it is. When he comes back, if he comes back.
167.
No party piece from the Wizard. So Barney back for the coup de grace.
99.
Is this Van Barneveld's moment? Tops he needs for 2 wins out of 3 in the Premier League. No problem. Raymond van Barneveld goes into next week's big showdown in Glasgow with Michael van Gerwen with 4 points to his name. He beats Simon Whitlock here, who is still pointless in the Premier League, by 7 legs to 4.
Barney staggers over the line.